Today we have a brand new IEM from Meze. Even though it's gone unannounced until now, it still gained some hype online through leaks and speculation. Well, here we are with the Meze Alba, a new IEM from Meze that comes in at $159 USD. Now, before we go further, I'd just like to thank Meze for sending this unit out to review. As always, I'm free to give my full and honest opinion using this IEM, although, disclaimer, for the first time there's an affiliate link in the description. I didn't ask for it, they just gave it to me. So if you are interested in this IEM, please just feel free to look it up any way that you please. Don't feel obligated to use the affiliate link. Okay, the Alba. I've actually had this in my possession for about 3 months now, and in that time it's gotten a decent amount of use. And yes, even at my job, which means I can say that I am someone who's used the Meze product at a construction site. So first of all, I will just say that I really like the overall finish, fit, and accessories. The Alba has a similar sort of design to the much more expensive Advar, but with some changes. The build of the IEM is made through die casting with zinc alloy and anodized aluminum, and it's finished with an iridescent paint that gives it a pearl sort of finish. The included cable is lightweight and flexible, and it doesn't feel very prone to tangling, and it connects to the IEM with a 2-pin connector rather than an MMCX like the Advar. The cable terminates in a 3.5mm TRS, but it also comes with a 3.5 to USB-C dongle DAC that matches the cable of the Alba. It's a decent DAC on its own, and I like that it uses the same cable since that also makes it more flexible than some other dongle DACs that I've used. The included case is rather nice as well. It's a white hard shell case that's made with an imitation leather, and I'd say it's around a medium size. A little larger than some other cases, but it's still small enough that you could put it in your pocket to carry it. The IEM itself is a little smaller than they may appear in some pictures, and I really like how they fit in my ear. They sit very flush, and despite being a little bit on the heavier side, the weight is carried close so they sit securely. One thing that I have found though is that the logo on the IEM itself has started to rub off after a few months of use. It's not a big deal, but it's something to be aware of. Now, as far as how they sound, Meze tend to be praised a lot for their build quality, accessories, but sometimes they deviate from the norm when it comes to tuning, which is completely fine, and some people love Meze for that reason. But if you are aiming for a wider audience, it would probably be a good idea to aim for a tuning that would also have a wider appeal. That's exactly what they did. This IEM follows a similar overall tuning that a lot of other very popular IEMs share, although they still deviate enough to where they have their own distinct sound. To my ear at least, they do come across more V-shaped than the graph may imply, although they are measured on a clone 711, so the bass and treble could be different from how they appear. What stands out the most to me though is the bass, which seems to have a rather decent amount of punch behind it. It's not really sub-bass focused though, so it's not the most tight sounding bass, but it does carry some of the typical warm tuning that Meze products have, although it's held back enough so that it's not overbearing. I will say though that I'm not the biggest fan of the treble. To me, the 6K region is an area that I sometimes have problems with various IEMs, and with this one it stands out to me a decent amount. This could always be something to do with my own anatomy, as IEMs will respond differently to different ears, and for some others who have heard this IEM, they haven't talked about the same issue. For me, the treble isn't peaky or harsh sounding, but it just gives a sort of a rough or grainy texture to the vocals in certain instruments that sounds unnatural and artificial to me. So unfortunately, that's something that I did end up EQing down for my own listening enjoyment. Regarding the mids, they also come across sounding a little bit further back in the headspace. I'm not really someone who usually talks about soundstage in IEMs, mostly because I don't really hear soundstage in IEMs, but I think for someone who is looking for an IEM that sounds wider, the way these are tuned may make these a good contender for someone, as I do think that if you are someone who likes soundstage, you may hear this as sounding a bit wider. So really, these are IEMs I wouldn't say are the most neutral or maybe the best value for the price in terms of pure sound quality, but Meze is one of those brands that is known more about for the whole experience, with the build quality, comfort, and even just the name of Meze. So if you are looking for something that does have a slightly different tuning flavor while still having an overall tuning that appeals to a larger crowd and also has great build quality and accessories, then these may be a decent product from Meze for you to try.